Well, we've been scuppered today. Welcome back to the Finca. Another day on the Finca. And we've been scuppered today. We didn't realise, or just at the last second, today's a holiday, a bank holiday, what they call it, a public holiday in Valencia. And Brico Depot, where we go to pick our stuff up, is in Creviente, which is in Valencia. So it's closed. So that's kind of put a spanner in the works, hasn't it? But where we live, this is Jumilla region. It's a large wine producing region, and a lot of Tempranillo grapes around here. And we buy wine from our local bodega. There's lots of big wine producing places, but we have a little small one that we go to, basically to support the smaller producers. So we're going there now. So this is one bodega, huge thing. Look at the size of those tanks. We don't go to this one. That's yeah, we're in a little place called Los Gabrieles. There's actually 3 bodegas, and that's one big one.
And on the other side of the road, we've got this one, which is a private one. The one that Andy showed you was actually the cooperative bodega. This is a private bodega. Can you make out the 2 presses there? They've obviously been restored. We have one of these in our workshop, if you remember, but it doesn't look like that because ours needs a bit of TLC. And now we're going to go to the one where we buy our wine. This is our little bodega Los Gabrieles. Absolutely gorgeous wine. So let's go and buy some.
So inside the bodega there's a motorcycle. These are the big vats. And all the barrels. It says Donde no hay vino, no hay amor, which means where there's no wine, there's no love. And more tanks over here. Big barrels everywhere. Fabulous little place it is. And there's Sharon buying the wine. And there's a lady pouring it. So this is the stuff in question. We've got a rosé, a white and a red. It's a I said Tempranillo grape before. It's not actually, it's a Monastrell, which is our favourite grape in Spain for wines. I don't know why I said Tempranillo, probably because Tempranillo is so popular, but no, it's a Monastrell is the grape, and if you can see that on there, it's 15%, so you've got to be a bit careful with it. It's loony juice. Cool. So we just decant this into all, you know, other like 75 normal 75 cl bottles to use it, rather than try and pour it out of the big containers. So there we go. Hello, Jessie. Jessie's been exploring. Look at the state of her. What have you got on your head there? Hey, where have you been? So the saga of the dog kennel continues. It's given me a chance to decide that's finally what I'm going to do. I was considering building a separate shade area here. I don't know why, because now I'm just going to extend this roof right out to another 1.2 meters, another 4 foot, which will give me a nice shady area here, even against the walls shady there as well, and then just pen them off separately to give them a big run. So in the winter when it's chilly they can sit in the sun, in the summer when it's hot they can lie in the shade. So I've actually ordered that stuff, so I'm going to pick everything up tomorrow to get this completely finished. I'm just going to felt the roof over the top. It's supposed to have a 15-year, it's supposed to be good for 15 years. Whether it will in this sun, I don't know, but it's the quickest, simplest solution really. So there we go. So I can't do anything more until tomorrow on this either. We're not getting anywhere, are we? Because it's a public holiday in the Valencia region, it also means that the fencing is going to be delayed by another day as well, because they're in the Valencia region. Oh crikey. And Sharon's just spoken to the lady that's got the dogs. They're fine, they're living together now as a pair, they're getting on really well, so that should be quite an easy transition to bring them up here, if we ever get it finished. So today we're going to do a bit on the bedroom. As you can see, the mattress is still on the floor. The bed's going to go between those two sockets at an angle that way. That'll give us a space in the corner over there to build a little wardrobe, etc. So we're going to, I still need to put the skirting boards in. I still need to put the trim on this shelf. Still need to build the door, still need to put the architrave on. But at least if we get the floor oiled, we can then put the bed in and sort of, yeah, at least get that in the right place. Remember, I did the legs the other day. The difficulty we've got, obviously, once it's oiled, we won't be able to walk on it. So we're going to have to figure out some crafty way. We'll probably oil under where the bed's going to go, put the bed in, then oil one side, and the other person will have to climb over to get out. And then when that's dry, we can go that way and then do it in bits like that, so we can avoid the dumb bits. It doesn't matter if you do it in sections and let it dry, because it looks exactly the same and it just covers over after. You don't get a joint mark like you would perhaps with stain or varnish or whatever, paint even. So yeah, we're going to do that today. At least it gets us going a little bit on a bit of progress. A bit more comfort.
So this morning we decided to open the doors and let Catsy out for the first time, because last night he was getting very aggressive and obviously frustrated. And in fact he's not bothered, he's just here, quite happy, aren't you baby? He's just had a bit of a trauma because he had, I don't know what it is, a piece of foil or something stuck behind his front teeth, and he's been licking all morning trying to get it out, so we've just had to get him in the cat camp and remove it for him, but he's a little bit fed up with me now, as you can see. Oh, what are you doing? Biting? No biting. But yeah, so he's got all the freedom he could possibly want, and he chooses to stay in here, so hey ho, guess he's happy. So I've done the shelf. I'm just working now along the, what will be the headboard, having to be ever so careful not to let it bleed into the walls, because we've had that problem in the bathroom and you just keep touching it up with paint and it just comes through again, so I'm having to be very careful. So slowly catch a monkey, but it's getting there.
So I'm back in one of my favourite places, the workshop. Love it in here. You remember I painted the bed legs the other day, because these are the only part of the bed that's visible. They've come out really nice. So I just need to stick the end caps back in them and then fix them back onto the bed bits, the rest of the bed. So the caps are all in and they just bolt onto the bed with two screws. He says, well, one goes in there like that. Screws, the bolts, not screws, bolts, nuts and bolts. And then the other one. Get it lined up and he's through like that. Tighten them up and I've got another 6 to do. Okay, all the legs are fitted on the beds. What do they call the bed bases? That's the word I was looking for. Bed bases. We've all got the nice new shiny legs on. I say we did that because that's the only part you can see when the bed's made up and whatever. So, and it should look nice against our lovely wooden floor, which Sharon is just oiling at the moment. I just noticed something on the floor, don't know what it is. So I'm going to take these up to the apartment in readiness to go into place. So the oil on the floor is coming along nicely. The first coat, it dries in about 10 minutes, it just soaks straight in basically. But at least it seals the floor. We can get the bedding over that, and we can just do additional layers, do you call it? Coats. Today I've not been able to say words and things today at our leisure. So yeah, there's not much more to do now. As soon as this is done, we'll get the bed in, and then we can always move the bed to do bits and then figure out how we're going to do it while we're still walking on the floor. Yes, that'll be interesting, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so the bed's in, the floor's oiled down there, but you can see the joint there. It keeps changing colour, this, doesn't it? We've got a lovely space over here, big space over here, so we can slide the bed up if we want to separate them at some point to become two singles. Okay, so now we've got the bed in, we've got a big space here, like I just said, so we can, if we want to separate them for guests into two twins, we can slide one along. Fantastic. And this corner, we've got quite a large space here where we're going to build a wardrobe. And now the bed's out of the way, we can see how big. Does that mean anything to you? Does that, how big we can make it? Whether we're going to make it diagonally, I don't know. It's not the best use of space. But we've got one of, you remember the storage thing that we brought up? We're actually going to stick that in here for now and see how it functions, and give us an idea of the size of space that we can use in here. So yeah, progress made. We get in there. We just need to do the rest of the floor now around the bed. It's done under the bed. It's done all at that side. But when that's dry, then somehow we'll have to figure it out. But maybe if we do it first thing one morning, it'll be dry for the evening. We don't know. We'll figure it out. And we're glad we didn't put the skirting boards in first, because we'd have to paint around those, have to stain those and risk getting it on the wall. So what we're going to do, now the floor's painted, we can fit the skirting boards, we'll oil the skirting boards before we fit them. Down there for dancing, I said the other day. Fantastic. Right, so that's it for today. Yeah, we're back on the dog kennel tomorrow. We're going picking everything up, hopefully in the morning when they're open again after the little jolly holiday. And what day is it today? It's
Friday tomorrow.
Friday tomorrow. Another thing that happens when they have a holiday like that on a Thursday, a lot of businesses they do what's called a bridge day, and then they'll make it run into the weekend. Fortunately, Brico Depot won't be doing that, and they will be open tomorrow. So we're going to pick up the stuff bright and early in the morning and then get cracked on with that. So thanks again for watching. Thanks to all the subscribers, and we'll be back tomorrow with some more.